Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be testing out some new makeup products. As always, they're not necessarily current new makeup products at the store, but they are all new to me. So if you'd like to watch me play around with some new makeup products and create a makeup look, please keep watching. The entire month of December, I'm going to be wearing these. I don't even care if they don't fit in frame. Well, I do care secretly, but it's the only time I can wear them. I'm not, well, I guess I could do like Christmas in July. Isn't that like a thing for QVC or something? I could bust them out in July. We'll see. And I decided from now on, I think I'm going to start getting ready in robes. Like I always buy like cute little robes like this from Forever 21 and I never wear them. So I'm like, I'm just going to start wearing them in my videos. Like, why not, right? So anyways, the first thing I'm going to be trying out, oh, this is a mix of high-end and drugstore. Sometimes I do like full drugstore first impressions and full high-end first impressions, but today I decided that I would mix them up a little bit in this video. So the first thing I'm going to be trying out is from Erborian, I think is how you say it. This is the Glow Cream. It says Illuminating Face Cream, Ultra Radiant Effect. I have this little tester tube thing here. If I remember right, this brand makes like a really good CC or BB cream. Like I remember hearing a lot of people talk about. So I'm going to be trying this out for primer. This is what it looks like. Ooh, feels really creamy. Ooh, and I like how it smells too. It actually feels really hydrating. Not very sticky though, so I don't know. I'm using it as a primer. It just says face cream, so I don't know if this is just supposed to be like what the intention for it is, I guess is what I'm saying. I'll look it up. I do feel like I have to, my skin is like soaking it up though. I feel like that just came out of nowhere. That's weird. Anyway, so I went to Sephora.com and this actually says that it is a glow cream highlighting primer. It just doesn't say primer on this little tube, but it does say a pearlescent multi-use primer that acts as a subtle highlighter, makeup base, and moisturizer for a fresh face dewy finish with an all-over glow. It does have like a pink tint to it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera, but it does have like a little bit of like a pink pearl tint, which is pretty. So as always, I like to do dedicated videos with my foundation, so I never try out a new foundation in these videos just because I want to use a foundation that I know that I like, so that way it gives the other products a fair chance. And then I also like to do dedicated foundation reviews with wear tests and stuff. So I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover Full Coverage Weightless Foundation. I actually have a different shade in this. I do have a foundation first impression up on my channel with this foundation. I will link it in the description box. But when I tried this out the first time, I had a super light shade and it was like too light for me in the video. So I went ahead and got a different shade. I have not tried a different shade of this yet, but I do remember really liking it. So I'm going to be using this again today. And it is like super thick. It reminds me of the Rimmel Mousse foundation. What was that called? It came in a tube too, and it was super moussey, and I don't remember what it was called though, but I liked it. It worked for my dry skin. So I'm just going to show you a quick preview of this foundation. I think the shade's actually going to be perfect. This is in the shade 303 Nude Beige, and it's super thick, but I'm just going to be blending that in with my damp Wet n Wild sponge. So I had to switch over to my Tarte foundation brush. I'm starting to think that the Beauty Blender liquid soap that I use to clean my sponges are making my sponges apply makeup like super weird, because I start off with this and I got really patchy. I switched over to a brush and I was just fine. So I'm starting to think that I should not use that cleanser anymore. So I remember the first time I used this foundation, I really liked the formula and it wore really well throughout the day. So I really liked it. I just didn't like the shade that I had because it was like way too pale. And like you can see here, you would never think a nude beige shade would be this light. Like to me it's almost too light still, and the other shade I have is like ivory and it's like white. So for concealer, I'm going to be trying out the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear More Than Concealer Concealer. This is in the shade Eggshell 325. It's pretty light. I remember when this first came out everybody loved it, and then now I don't hear anybody talk about it, I feel like. So Here we go with the giant doe foots. I think I remember this now. I'm not a huge fan of the giant doe foots, but was this the one that was supposed to be a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape? I can't remember. It feels like it. Like that's the first thing I think of, just like formula-wise. I hope it's not as drying as a Tarte Shape Tape, because Tarte Shape Tape is like really drying on my skin. And then I stopped highlighting here because I feel like it makes my chin look bigger, but I'm just gonna do it today just to see. So I'm just gonna use my sponge. Nope, no I'm not. See? I think it's that Beauty Blender cleanser that is like messing with my makeup application. Like it just totally took all of that off. And I know it's not the sponge because I love that sponge, so, which is weird because they make the cleanser especially for the sponge, so I don't understand why it does that. But I definitely think that this concealer is super full coverage. I'm just going to add a little bit more on my right eye since that sponge took it off. I don't feel like getting up to go wet a new sponge, so I'm just going to take this dry Beauty Blender and just bounce it off my face. And then I'm just going to go over with my foundation brush just because it does look a little bright. I just want to tone it down a little bit. I am going to do a little bit of cream contour, so I'm just going to take my Coastal Scents Camouflage Concealer Palette in this dark shade right here. So the only new brow product that I have is actually like this little Urban Decay sample, and this says it's the Urban Decay Brow Endowed. One side is a primer and one side is the color, and it looks just like a brow tint. It says Brow Volumizer Double-Ended Primer and Color. So I'm going to try the primer first, and this brush is so tiny. It's going to be perfect to get up all in there. I'm not sure if you're supposed to apply this before like your brow product, or you just apply it before you put the brow tint. So I'm just going to use it before I apply my Anastasia Dip Brow. I've never used a brow primer before, so I wonder if this just like conditions the brows. So this says on Sephora.com, it says use the Soft Hold Primer to amp up volume and the Tinted Brow Cream to intensify your look. So I guess I'll just go in with the other side too, and then I'll just fill in the areas with my brow pomade. I really like how small this little brush is. But since I barely have any brows anyways, I'm definitely gonna have to like go in and fill them in with something else. But if you already had like natural full brows, I think you would really like this. Giving me like Benefit Gimme Brow vibes, but I think I actually like this more. It did add like a little bit of a tint. See, this would be perfect if you already had a full brow. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Anastasia Dip Brow to fill in the rest of my brows, and then I'll be right back. I just went ahead and filled in my brows. I definitely don't suggest using this before you go in with a pomade because it made my brows kind of stiff. But that's a good thing if this is all you're going to be applying, or if you're going to use this as the last step. So I'm just going to go back in with the color side again and just kind of flick up my brows and brush them out on this side because I really do like this product, man. I would give anything to have like natural full brows. So for powder, my last video I tried out the Kylie Soft Pink powder for my under eye to set my under eyes. So I want to try out her other two shades to set my face. So I think I'm going to go in with the shade called Beige first. I really like the soft pink shade for my under eyes. And I saw that this is the shade that she uses to set her face, so maybe it'll kind of like darken my face up a little bit is what I'm hoping. I'm just going to use my powder brush. I'm going to dip into the product and then swirl it around in the lid and then just press it in. I think it did add a little bit of color, which is what I needed. I love this powder. If she sold it in like a jumbo size, I would totally buy it. In the pink shade and this shade. Okay, I definitely like that. Now to set my under eyes, I'm going to try out the translucent shade. Almost every single loose powder that I've tried that's translucent darkens my under eye. And what I liked about her soft pink shade, it like brightened my under eye, but not like too much. So I want to see what this does to my under eye. I guess if it kind of darkened it right now, it wouldn't really matter because it's super bright. So we'll see. But I love this powder. Oh my gosh. It's like, I want to hate on the Kardashians so much, just like everybody else, but I can't when it comes to their makeup. Although I do prefer Kylie's makeup over Kim's. I don't really like Kim's makeup. Everything I've tried from Kim so far, I'm just like that's, I like never talk about it in my videos because I don't really like it. And I know everybody liked her concealer and stuff, but like I didn't. And I do use her brightening powder, but that's just because I have it. I would never repurchase it. So I'm going to try dipping my sponge in there. Let's, hopefully it won't mess this up. And I'm going to bake my nose contour too. I'm just going to let that sit there for a little bit. For bronzer, I'm going to be trying out the fairly new Wet n Wild bronzers. I have a shade right here that I think would be good for contouring. This is in the shade Sunset Striptease. It's kind of like a gray undertone. And then I have the shade right here for all over my face for a bronzer. This is in the shade Ticket to Brazil. So I'm going to try that out. I'm going to use my Essence Kabuki brush. And I'm going in with the shade called Ticket to Brazil first. It looks really warm, so I don't really know what to expect. This one looks like there's like a slight sheen in it, but it's not horrible. I thought it was going to be too dark, but it actually looks too light. I feel like I can't really see it. Can you guys see it? I don't want to like pile it on too much, but. So now I'm going to go in with a shade called Sunset Striptease. It's the more like gray undertone one. So maybe this will help kind of like deepen up my face. And I'm using this Luxie 1010 small contour brush. I mean, I can't really see this either. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I can definitely see this one. I'm just gonna dip my kabuki brush in it and just focus it on the outer part of my face. Okay, I feel like this one's definitely helping. I don't think though that this is a shade that I would necessarily want to wear by itself, but I think the two together look nice. I don't know how I feel about this bronzer. Now I'm just going to dust away this bake, and to do that I like to use this Morphe M451. I think people use it for highlighting, but I like it to dust away powder. I think that powder did a really nice job setting my under eyes without like making them look darker. I still think they look nice and bright. I love this powder. I need to get it in like every single shade. For blush, I'm going to be trying out this MAC Extra Dimension blush in the shade Hushed Tone. I don't know what I think about this. We're about to find out. So I've tried switching up my brushes and like making myself try other brushes because I tend to stick to the same like 5 all the time, but I have to bust out my trusty blush brush. Like nothing can replace this, and I've tried like 3 different ones so far. I even have this one that's similar from Marshall's, but nothing just picks up blush and places it perfectly like this brush. So this is the Morphe E4. I'm going to be trying this out. Let's see. Well, I've already tried this brush. I'm going to be trying this blush out. I feel like I haven't really heard anybody talk about these extra dimension blushes either. They do have like sheen in them, like a sheen. So maybe that's why I think most people prefer like a matte blush. But this looks really pretty. And I don't have a blush that's this shade. It's kind of like a rusty shade in a way, like a rusty neutral mauve shade. I feel like because the tone of this, I feel like this could also like be like a blush bronzer in one, but just on your cheeks. I wouldn't suggest like putting this like everywhere around your face. But I do think it's really pretty. For highlighter, I'm going to be trying out this e.l.f. times Heart what's that say? Defensin? I can't tell. I think it's a collaboration. This is what it looks like. This is in the shade Coffee and Cream. There's 2 shades right here. So one's more of like a bronzy shade and the other one's like a straight like pearly silver shade. Wonder what would happen if I mix the 2. That's what they look like. I'm just gonna mix the 2, like screw it. Normally I wouldn't, but let's do it. Ooh, together they actually look really pretty, and I would never mix these 2 shades together. It's very pretty. Like, I feel like you could wear it like 2 different ways, like kind of more natural looking like how I'm doing it right now, or you could get your brush wet or set your face with setting spray first and then go in with it and like really amplify it. But like it looks really nice. Like it's not emphasizing any texture. It's kind of like a glow from within, like metallic highlighter. It's really pretty. Moving on to eyes, I'm going to be trying out the Dose of Colors Marvelous Mauves eyeshadow palette. This is what it looks like. It's all purples. I really wanted to do the like rusty shade because I bought the set when it came to Ulta, so I got all of these, like Baked Bronze. What's the other ones? Smoky, something like the gray one. I can't remember, but I got the entire set of eyeshadows, but I figured I never wear purple on my channel, so I was going to use this. It does come with a brush. Not very promising, but I think it'd be really good for the lower lash line. So I'm just going to use all of the shades and just kind of build them up on top of each other. So I'm going to go in with this first shade right here. This mirror's really nice too. Ooh, lots of kickback actually. Just going to apply that into my crease. Then I'm going to go in with the shade right next to it. They're super powdery. I mean, they seem to be blending out nice. And I'm going in with the shade right next to it. Put that in the crease. They're all super powdery. Oh my goodness. I'm going to switch to a more defined crease brush. So I'm just going to take my Morphe R39 and I'm going to go in with this shade right here. I'm going to focus that like pretty much into the crease. Oh my, it's so powdery. I mean, they do blend out really nice. They're nice and pigmented, but man, are they messy. So I'm going to go in with the darkest shade all the way over here, and I'm going to apply that on the outer part of my eye. So yeah, they are really pretty, and I've always heard people say that purples are really hard to make like in the lab. So I think they are super pretty. Like I said, they're just messy, but they do blend out really nice, and they are nice and pigmented. Now I'm just going to take these two shades right here, the second and third shade, mix them together on my Morphe 504. Look at all that. And I'm just going to put that back into my crease. I'm going to see if I have like a glitter I haven't tried out before, because I feel like I need something. So I found this little guy. This is the Maybelline Color Tattoo 24-hour eyeshadow. It's in the shade 90 Vintage Plum. So I'm going to just keep it matte for today. This is what it looks like. So I have swatched it, but I don't believe I've used it. And I don't know if you need to set these or what. So I guess we're going to find out. So I'm just going to do kind of like a semi-cut crease. I'm going to use my MAC 242. I would assume since it's a cream shadow, it'll just dry down, right? Like, I don't know. It's actually a little darker than I thought. It's not very easy to work with, like trying to do like a precise line. It doesn't really want to do that. But it does seem like it's just drying down by itself, so I'm not going to have to set it. But trying to apply this on top of eyeshadow is difficult. Like, I feel like this would be something you would have to apply first and then put stuff on top of it. Like, it's not really going on top of this other eyeshadow that well. But you know what? That's what these videos are for, so we can figure out the best way to use products and if products are good or bad or I think that's as good as I'm going to get. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but it's not like amazing. I think that this is a product best worn alone or as a base. It does not work well on top of other shadows in my opinion. So I think I'm just gonna stop before I mess it up anymore. I'm gonna go back in with the Dose of Colors palette and just kind of buff around that and see what I can come up with. Oh, I guess I'll try the handy dandy brush that came with it. We'll see how that works. So I was gonna toss the brush, but it's actually really good for like small detailed work. I don't know if I dare try the pointed side. Let's try. I'm gonna go in with the second shade and apply that to my lower lash line. Now I'm going in with the third shade. And the fourth shade. Okay, this brush isn't horrible. Now I'm going to take the pointed side with the darkest shade. And just press that right against my lash line. But I'm only going like 3/4 of the way in. I'm just going to blend it out with the other side. Now I'm going to take the lightest shade and just go right underneath it. Just try to like blow it out a little bit more. And there we go. I'm going to go back in with my R39 with a mixture of the two darkest shades, and I'm going to apply that back up here to the outer portion of my eye and kind of like into that cream eyeshadow. I feel like it's just gonna have to stay that way because I feel like the more I mess with it, the more I'm just like messing it up. So I'm just going to jump off camera real quick and apply some liner, mascara, and lashes because I don't have any new things to try. So I'm just going to do a line straight across my lash line, like no wing liner or anything, and I'll be right back. So I just applied some Ardell Wispies, and then I took the ColourPop gel liner in the shade Piggy Bank for my waterline. For lips, I'm going to be trying out this Ambreesh 24 karat liquid lipstick. This one's in the shade Power Trip. Packaging is gorgeous. Ooh, look at this wand. So like one dip is like all you need, although I did think it was going to be a little bit darker, that's why I picked it. To me it came out a little bit more fuchsia pink. but in the tube it looks like a lilac, right? Or am I crazy? I don't know. So I'm just going to go in with a lip liner just to like deepen up the color a little bit more. I think I'm just going to use MAC Stone. I wasn't sure what to expect using MAC Stone, but that seemed like it made sense. And I kind of got like this really pretty like ombre lip going on. I think it definitely just turned a spring summer shade into a fall winter shade, that's for sure. This is actually a really pretty lip combo, oh my goodness. And this liquid lipstick formula is really nice. I'm just going to go fix my hair up a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to go over every single product and let you guys know my final thoughts. Okay, so now I'm just going to go through every single product, so no particular order. The first thing is the Ambreesh liquid lipstick in the shade Power Trip. This is a gorgeous color. It's just like not a color that I would necessarily wear all the time, especially not right now in the winter time. I think it'd be perfect for spring and summer, but because I used MAC Stone, I feel like I kind of like darkened it up a little bit to where it's like wearable. I mean, you can wear whatever shade whenever you want, however you want, but for me that's just like what I prefer. So I love the formula. It feels really thin on the lips, like it doesn't really feel like I'm wearing anything. It feels really comfortable and stuff like that. It did dry down all the way. They did send me a few more shades, but they're all like summer-ish spring shades, but I definitely want to look into see if they have like nude shades or like darker shades for like the winter and fall. Ooh, if they had like nude shades in this formula, I'm all for it. Next we have the Kylie powders. I love these. I figured I would because I really like the soft pink powder. I think the translucent shade was perfect for underneath my eyes, and I think the beige shade was perfect to set my face. Next we have the Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Vintage Plum. I think I would really like this, but if it was by itself, or I don't even know if I would like it as a base, honestly. I feel like this is one of those products, this is the only thing you use on your entire eye or it's gonna look funny. I like blended for a good like 10 minutes off camera to try to like fix it, and I feel like it's still like thank goodness I have bangs and these lashes are helping to hide the mess that this created. So ugh. If you guys use these tattoo, what are these? Color Tattoo 24-hour eyeshadows, let me know how you guys use them in the comments below. Then we have the Erborian, I hope I'm saying that right, Glow Cream. This is really pretty. Would I use it as a primer? Probably not, but I think as like maybe on top of my moisturizer or mixed in with my moisturizer, I think it looks really nice. I feel like you can kind of see a little bit of it like peeking through, but this to me didn't work. It didn't work how I want my primers to work for me, I guess is what I'm saying, but it is interesting. Then we have the Dose of Colors Marvelous Mauves. This is a really pretty eyeshadow palette. You can't really get too many looks out of this, if I'm being honest. I do think the colors blended out really nice. They're nice and pigmented, but man, they are messy. Let me tell you, there's so much kickback, like yikes. But this is a really pretty palette and it did blend out really nice. Then we have the e.l.f. Heart, I don't even know. Whatever this collab is, I think this is a really pretty highlighter, and I never would have thought mixing the two of them would work for me, and it did. Like, you would never think mixing these two shades together would work, but they're really, really pretty. And again, this is in the shade Coffees and Cream. Then we have the Wet n Wild bronzers in Ticket to Brazil and Sunset Striptease. Together, they work. Separately, this just was not dark enough for me. I don't know, I feel like I had to keep piling it on, and I'm not very tan right now, I'm pretty fair, so for this not to really show up is weird. This is a really good contour shade as well. They both seem to have like kind of like a sheen in them, but it didn't show up on my skin. Not that I can tell anyways. Together they work perfect. Separately, this by itself separately, the Sunset Striptease for contour, sure, but this by itself, this, I don't know. I think this would look better on like pale, fair skin, because right now I consider myself kind of light skin, and I had to pile it on, you guys saw. Then we have the MAC Extra Dimension Blush in Hush Tone. This is really pretty. I feel like though I would rather use this shade as like a bronze topper or a blush topper. I think by itself it's pretty, but like I want more, I guess is what I'm saying. So I do have another shade of these. I'll probably try it out like later on, but by itself I'm just kind of like you know? Then we have the Urban Decay Brow Endowed Primer in Color. I really like this. Like I said when I was trying out, if you already have full brows and you just need an oomph to them, I think you would really love this. I like this better than the Benefit Gimme Brow, and I really like the idea of the primer and the color, and I think I like this to set my brows or to add like a little bit more fluffiness, you know what I mean? So I think after I'm done with this, I might actually buy the full size. Then the last thing I tried out, I always feel like whenever I do like a product summary at the end, I'm forgetting something, but I think this is the last thing. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear More Than a Concealer. I really like this too. I think it's definitely comparable to the Tarte Shape Tape, but I feel like it's not as drying. So if you think Tarte Shape Tape is drying on your skin too and you have dry skin, try this guy out because I think it's similar. It's just not as drying, and I definitely think it's full coverage. And it didn't really crease either, even like before I set it with powder, so... Okay guys, thank you so much for watching me try out some new makeup products and come up with this makeup look right here. Let me know if you guys have tried any of these products in the comments below. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later.